For the next 7 episodes, I am going to be doing a week in the life of a food vendor. Not only will I cover what we do on the food truck, and I'll talk about service and cleanup and prep, and then also talk about the things that we do off the truck, like supply shopping, having a social life, and then making money outside of the food truck. Welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I am a food truck business coach, author of 5 food truck vending books, including Food Truck 101 and Food Truck 201. This podcast is all about helping you start and grow your food truck business. Table Needs invites you to dive into a candid conversation with Christian and Tracy, co-owners of Restless Coffee, about their inaugural year in the food truck industry. Gain valuable insight on menu creation, top-notch customer service, community building, and the dynamics of working with your spouse. Curious about the journey? Click the link in the episode description to watch the video for free. Before I get into what Mondays look like for us, I want to explain where we live and what our menu consists of, especially when it comes down to where we have to shop. We live in a rural part of Florida Panhandle, about halfway between Defuniak Springs, Florida, and the Alabama border. Our supplies are provided mainly by Sysco, and we use their will call. They are located 45 miles northeast of us in Geneva, Alabama. Our other main suppliers are Paradise Paper, Sam's Club, and Miracle Strip Popcorn and Concession Supply, all of which are found in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, and that's located 45 minutes to the southwest of us. So we're right in the middle of all of our main suppliers. We use Walmart for seasonings and some dairy products. We use Piggly Wiggly for some meats like hamburger and pork because the butcher there treats us right and gives us some really good prices. Now, what that means for us in shopping is we cannot do all of our shopping in one day. It's clumsy and it wastes a whole bunch of time. We're talking about 3 hours wasted just in driving. So we gather up our supplies over 2 days, and what we try to do is shop every other week. We go to Sysco 1 week, buy enough stuff for 2 weeks, and then we go to Sam's Club the following week and buy enough stuff for 2 weeks from them. Our menu consists of breakfast products we serve from 7 in the morning until 10:30. We sell the typical sausage, bacon, and ham, and then we have egg and cheese and several different kinds of cheeses actually to go on bread carriers. The 3 bread carriers that we have are biscuits, English muffin, and toast. Plus, because we have eggs in the meats, we can do platters, we do biscuits and gravy, and we also do pancakes. Basically, the typical breakfast fare. For lunch, we do an Italian sub, we do a Cuban, we do tacos, we do sandwiches on toast since we already have the toast from breakfast. We do hot dogs, and we have simple side items like coleslaw and potato chips. We also sell some drinks, and we sell these all day long. One of them being lemonades that we can add different flavorings to. We have iced teas, could add flavorings to those if we wanted. We have hot and iced coffees of different varieties. And then we're open Thursday through Sunday, and we close every day at 1 p.m. So we open at 7, close at 1. We are set up in an RV park. We're on a lake that has 150 sites with a mix of permanent, full-time, and then a bunch of transient. The park also has cabins to rent, so they're always full on the weekends. We have a whole bunch of different people that stop in because they just don't want to cook. Our break-even point is extremely low, and I did this on purpose so that we didn't have to leave the park. We can be completely sustained with the sales that our small park can do for us. Our break-even point is $149.83. So it takes only 3 guests per hour for us to achieve that. So we can work at a very leisurely pace and still hit $149.83 and pay all the bills and have a little bit of money for ourselves. I'm retired, so I draw Social Security, and I operate my coaching business. So if you understand how Social Security works, you can have a little bit of an income, but once you reach a certain level, they start deducting from your Social Security. So it's important to me that I stay underneath that income threshold. The food truck is Melissa's sole income, and she does not have to work for anyone else. She's had her own business since 2007, and now we've got it to the point where she doesn't have to go outside of the RV park if she doesn't want to. So we truly do work from home. Because of our having lived in this RV park the last 7 years, we know a whole bunch of the people that live here. We've gotten to caterings, all within inside the park. We've done special events on holidays, again, all within inside the park. So this is our own little microcosm of what you guys deal with on a weekly or daily basis. It's just our numbers are a little bit smaller. Our current vision is to add a pizza oven and then add one more day being open and work in the evenings and basically do delivery to inside the park. We're also talking about opening up a 2-mile radius around the park and do delivery for that small delivery area. This would drive the sales well past the cooking capacity of the trailer if we are able to maximize everything that we could do. So we're taking it nice and slow because there's no point in maxing out the cooking capacity and upsetting a whole bunch of people with slow service. Now, the reason that we are adding on a pizza oven, and this is kind of a selfish reason, is the only delivery to our area comes from Hungry Howie's. Hungry Howie's used to take out ads in our RV park for the little map that we give everybody when they drive around to their parking spots. So we have one of those maps like you get at a theme park that's full of colors and it's got ads all around the outside of it. Hungry Howie's used to always buy an ad. Well, this year they decided they didn't need to because they feel like they have the business all locked up. So we're going to put a little challenge on that. My goal is for us to impact them just enough so that they realize that there's somebody else out here taking away their delivery business. $100 a night would make me happy, and they would notice $100 a night not coming out here. So anyway, here's what we do on Monday. This is what I did this past Monday. The truck's closed, and we both work on the food truck and our other businesses. So like many owners, you might have a corporate job, so you're not 100% food truck oriented. You have to deal with your corporate job, whatever that might be. So this Monday, I had 4 90-minute coaching sessions. And then I had 2 more 30-minute coaching sessions. That meant if all those folks showed up, I had 7 hours worth of calls where I would be talking all day long. The coaching sessions require paying attention to the conversation, so I can't do other things. I can't multitask. I have to pay attention to the person who's paying me money. And because of that, that means I can't do anything for the food truck. I can't do anything for the social media. Can't do anything for my Facebook group. Can't do anything other than pay attention to the person and the questions that they're asking and the help they need. In between those calls, though, I have time to write, record, and edit the podcast. I have to administer the Food Truck Training Facebook group. I have to answer emails and text messages and return phone calls. If all of this is caught up and I don't have a coaching session, then I'm working on my next presentation for a masterclass. I'm setting up advertisement for my website, the podcast, the YouTube channel, or my books. And just like you, I'm never really off unless I make myself be off. So I'll get up in the morning and work until I go to sleep. Now, it's not stressful work by any stretch, but I am doing something active all day long, just like most entrepreneurs. This past Monday, my first appointment was at 10 o'clock. So I set the alarm for 9 just to be safe. The food truck opening requires me to be up at 5:30. So really my sleeping pattern is I'm waking up about 5:30, 6 o'clock anyway. I set the alarm for just in case. This particular Monday, I woke up at 6:45 and just could not fall back asleep. So I went ahead and got up. Our food trailer is located 1 row over from where our RV is. So whenever I wake up in the mornings, I go ahead and head on over to the food truck and make myself some breakfast because all the food's already there anyway. So I just go ahead, make myself a nice coffee. And then this particular morning, I had some leftover sausage biscuits from the day before. So I just went ahead and refrigerated those knowing I would eat them. So I got a refrigerated sausage biscuit out and microwaved it while I made my coffee. While I'm waiting on the coffee to get set up and doing my microwaving of the biscuit, I'm looking in my freezer and my refrigerator, checking the temperatures, and then recording those temperatures. The thermometer that we use records the high and the low, and I go ahead and record the current temperature, the high and the low that is sustained since we last were open. I do this just to make sure that the product is in as safe a temperature as possible. And then I reset the thermometer so it'll show me the next time what the highs and lows are. If you have an opportunity for your food truck to be set up, you need this type of thermometer plus one that's going to notify you if the temperatures get up too high. So that way you don't have to worry about having $200 or $300 or $400 worth of food sitting and going bad because something's happened to your power supply. So after I made my breakfast and got the iced coffee all finished up, I walked back over to the house, sat in front of my computer and ate while I did the administrative work for the Facebook group. So now I always have to do several things in the morning. I'm talking about my Facebook group. This could be you working on your Facebook presence for your food truck. So what I have to do is I have to let in people that have asked to be let into the group overnight. That's one thing. I have to monitor all of the moderation alerts that I get and see what's been going on with those. and then I have to let in all the new posts. Sometimes it takes me 15 minutes. Sometimes it takes me an hour. Just depends on what has happened over the course of the evening while I was sleeping. So once I get done with the Facebook group, usually by that time Melissa's gotten up, she's gotten herself something to eat, and then we start talking about what we got to do for the week. What changes we're making to the menu, whether we're thinning something off the menu or adding something new. We're talking about what supplies that we have. We're talking about when do we need to go shopping? Where do we got to go shopping? Can we wait this week? Can we go one more week? We don't want to waste time. Melissa goes through and looks at her menus and her recipes, and she makes decisions on what we got to do with those menus, which means if we change the menu, we have to print out new menu sheets because we use what's known as a snap frame menu. And what that is you can imagine a frame where the edges are on hinges and they have their spring-loaded snaps. So when I open up those 4 sides, I can take out what's behind or being held in by the frame, which would be a clear plastic cover, then whatever we're putting up, and then a solid cardboard background to hold it in place. So we reprint our menu typically every week. Again, adding new things, dropping other things. All of this happens on Monday. Whatever doesn't get done on Monday carries over to Tuesday. Now, since we are adding on pizza, as I told you a few seconds ago, to mess with Hungry Howie's, we had to upgrade the power supply to the food truck and then buy a small conveyor oven for the food truck. Melissa used to run a pizza place, but they had a huge oven. And I was her delivery driver, and I would help close at night. So we know pizza pretty well. She knows it real well, and I know it a little bit. So we had to start messing with this new pizza oven. It's a shorter pizza oven. So we've had to kind of retrain ourselves on how to cook pizza dough in a little tiny space. And it's kicking our butts right now, to be honest. We've burnt more than we have been able to eat. And the ones that we've been able to eat, we've not been happy with the recipe for the sauces. It's just not where we want it to be. We've pretty much replicated what a toaster oven pizza tastes like when you go buy one in the frozen food section of a grocery store. And that's not what we're shooting for. So we've tested it many times. So on Monday night, we spent about 5 or 6 pizzas. We had one that we felt like was decent enough for us to take home and eat. That was our dinner, but the rest of them were just trash. So we decided that Tuesday we would take some down to the office and get some feedback from some other people and see what they thought and see if they concurred with our feelings that this tastes like frozen pizza. Even though it's not, we assembled them ourselves. The only thing that we were using is a par-baked dough, and we were making our own sauce or assembling our own sauce and putting on all the different toppings. The toppings were good quality. We liked the mozzarella. We liked the pepperoni because we're already using it on the Italian subs that we sell. So we were happy with that. We did not like the sauce that we got from Sysco. It was too bland, and we didn't like the crust. It wasn't as good as it should have been for it to be a wood-fired par-baked crust. So by 8 o'clock that evening on Monday, we settled in to relax. Melissa's form of relaxation is messing around with her menu, or sometimes she'll sit and watch YouTube while I'm doing my stuff on my computer, which typically is catching the group back up, making any posts I got to make, and then figuring out what my day is going to be like on Tuesday. And then I answer any questions that need to be answered on the Facebook group, and then all the messages and emails I've gotten throughout the day. Sometimes I'm doing this up until I go to bed at 11 or 12. Other times I'm done by 9 or 10, and we can relax and watch something together on TV. There's not much that we watch together because there's not that many shows that we both really enjoy together. So as a food truck owner, your day is going to be similar. You've got a corporate life, you've got some job you got to go to, but you're also probably thinking about your food truck in the evenings or in the mornings, and you've got to be able to remind people you exist. So you're on social media, you're planning your social media. You should, as much as possible, use a scheduler for social media so that you can get those posts up and posted without you having to do them in real time yourself. I use a lot of automatic posts on our Facebook group. If you've noticed the one I put up on Tuesdays about buying my book, that's an automatic one. The one on Saturdays about the podcast, that's an automatic one. Then I have another one that's set to go out automatically on the second Tuesday of each month. Those are all automatic. I set those up months ago, and they go out automatically. This week, I decided to redo them. So I redid all 3 of the posts, so they'll have new words, and they'll look like new posts again. I'll let them run another month or 2, then I'll redo them again. But I don't have to do them in real time. So that's a total of 9 posts a month going up on the Facebook group that I have nothing to do with other than set them up one time. Also on my group, I have it set every time we get 100 new people to post a welcome post. That's automated. That happens usually at least 2 to 3 times a week. So there's an example of 15 posts that I have set up to go out automatically. You guys need to do the same with your social media, and as much as possible, do that. So join me tomorrow. We're going to be talking about what I do on Tuesdays. Thank you so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you're finding all the information helpful to your food truck business, please become a monthly supporter of the podcast. Just hit the support button or follow the link in the description. Every little bit does help keep us going. Join our Facebook group. It's called Food Truck Training. We have a whole bunch of awesome members at all different levels, from brand new beginners to decades-old veterans. They've all got your back when it comes to helping you with your food truck. And again, thank you for listening. Come back tomorrow because I got plenty more to say when it comes to helping you and your food truck business grow.